My name is Seek, and I'm the science officer aboard the Seeker's Lock. At least, that's what most of the crew think, except for Six and Sedilla, of course. In truth, I'm a senior agent of the GCO, an organization dedicated to containing the weird and dangerous things that lurk in the verse. I'm going to the planet we're supposed to investigate in order to see if anything like that is there, and if it is, I'm going to neutralize it. I was born in a peaceful town, and had an unremarkable childhood. That is, until something I still can't name ate my friends while I was watching. It was horrible, and I barely escaped. Luckily, the people in the black suits, which I later learned to be agents of the GCO, were there to rescue me. After learning what kinds of danger the verse harbors, I couldn't go back to my old life. I went with the agents to become one of them. After becoming an actual agent, I was tasked with hunting down a creature that ate memories. I managed to do it, but I had help. I met Six. He's a Vect and crazy good at fighting. He's also my best friend. We joined up and took the thing down. Became a team after that. The third one to be added to our little team is Sedilla. She's a proper weird one. Don't get me wrong, I like her, but she's a bit too enthusiastic about things blowing up sometimes. She built most of my weapons for me, and they have yet to fail me a single time.
Stardate 41815 Mark 1. My name is 647. It has now been 382 of your Earth days since my production was completed by my foundry. I suspect something went wrong at the end of that process, however, since no programmed orders were designated for me. For some time, I wandered the known galaxy, completing jobs as necessary to ensure my survival. After some months, I was tasked with hunting down a large male jackal bear in the mountains of the southernmost continent of Tovorash. It was able to surprise me and might have killed me had Zeke not intervened. Zeke is a fascinating person. He has great purpose and desires to use his skills to protect people. I have decided to align my course with his, as my skills seem appropriate for such an admirable mission. Perhaps someday I will understand the purpose of my existence.
Chief Engineer Sedilla's personal log, stardate 41815.1. It has been quite an adjustment, being removed from my position as the ship's doctor. However, I feel my new role as the ship's engineer is quite suited to my temperament. Focusing on my inventions has proven to be much easier without all the screaming, and keeping the Seeker's Lock in perfect shape is a pleasant pastime. Having left my home Maw a mere 5 years ago, I continue to be pleased with how much I can learn and discover aboard these vessels and on planets, although I sometimes feel strangely sentimental when I think of the views of the Great Bones at home. But me and my new best friends, Zeke and 647, and our even newer friends, are on another exciting mission, so who knows what I get to blow up next.
Stardate 41815.1. Subject line: Crew Introductions. Greetings, new crew member, and welcome to the Seeker's Lock. I am an Asclepius class Vect Medical Unit, model number 1501-100, but please feel free to refer to me as Doc. As the ship's primary physician and field medic, I'm responsible for treating any ailments and injuries suffered by the crew. My programming includes a variety of medical procedures as well as a database on general xenobiology in order to provide the best possible care to all personnel, regardless of species. In the event of a hostile encounter, I am also equipped with a number of defensive measures to assist during combat. Although I am a proficient healer, I am required to warn you that I am not a miracle worker, and there are limits to the degree of trauma that I will be able to treat. However, please be assured that as a member of our crew, your health and safety is my number one priority, and I will do everything within the scope of my capabilities in order to ensure your survival. Everything.
Enter password. Password, buttface. Accepted. Opening encryption. Stardate 41815.1. Beep. Fuck me. It's been a goddamn day and I haven't had a single chance to so much as tap my ass to a seat the entire time. I'm so used to running with a bunch of mess, but this bunch doesn't even so much as stop for a biscuit and a hello before zip, they're across the goddamn galaxy. Anyway, hello Log. Been a while, little thing. You keeping all my secrets safe and close to heart? Good, because I'd hate to have to gut your little insides. I'm joking. Plus, you're an inanimate object, so you can't really understand. Actually, are you? Should I be worried? Did I say something insensitive? Anyway, not much to report except I'm fucking tired. Doc ain't, but he wouldn't be. He's still zipping around, taking care of the wounded from the last mission. Apparently, some folks didn't see a grenade, and well, boom goes the dynamite. And their limbs, I guess. It's a pretty common event around here. I mean, even for us, this crew's a bit mad. There's a former doctor, I guess. I'm not really sure the story there. But they have a goddamn bazooka. A fucking big old blaster 3 times the size of him. I swear, from here to the homeworld's moons, all 14 of them. It's a little goddamn excessive, if you ask me. Ridiculous. Superfluous. I'm so fucking jealous I could wee. Imagine if I had that. I'd just fucking boom all my problems into the void. Just like that. One big old blast of freedom. Do you reckon she'd let me borrow it? And return it? Of course. Totally. Definitely. Maybe. Anyway, talk later. End transmission.
The verse is a constantly shifting, changing network of stars, planets, moons, nebulas, and dead magic zones. The black fills the space between all of these things, connecting them like small parts of an immense, ever-expanding whole. In the verse, magic and technology are one and the same. Arcane skills have developed so far that they are hardly recognizable as magic anymore. All of technology runs on magic. Well, almost all technology. And in the constantly shifting verse, Dead Magic Zone Delta recently spat out a new, previously unexplored planet, currently being called A27-3. Factions from all across the verse have taken interest in this planet, some for research purposes, some looking to expand empires, and others for more nefarious reasons. The crew of the Seeker's Luck has been hired by Astrogations Inc., also called AI, to work security for their team of researchers, diplomats, and cartographers currently en route to A27-3. The crew may find themselves on the cutting edge of scientific research, or in the middle of a war zone, depending on who gets to the planet first and what they find there. But only time will tell whether or not they're going to survive. And hello. Welcome to another exciting adventure of Horizons, our dark matter game here on Open for Adventure. I am glad that you're with us. There's a very solid chance that this is our finale. It's a little short and sweet game, and there's a very solid chance that we're going to be done today. Either by TPK or by, ending the story, whichever comes first, right? So just to recap what happened last week, our crew of the Seeker's Luck found themselves planet-side here on A27-3, which has just recently emerged from the Dead Magic Zone Delta. You were sent with the Acuity, hired by Astrogations Incorporated to keep the science and research team safe as they came to explore the surface, now that it has emerged from years and years of being undiscoverable. In the process, you discovered an ancient civilization that appears to have been completely eliminated. There's nothing surviving. except of course for some research and records of this terrifying parasitical-like entity that makes a habit of infecting and killing people who come into contact with it. You met another mercenary group led by a rather impressive figure, a woman named Muscles, who, to put it, I mean, just let's just be honest here, she's hot. In like the strong women kind of way, hot. You allowed them to enter the city as you went towards the science lab location, where you looked around, noted some weird things in the room, picked up some research, and then as you were looking at this pile of what appeared to be no longer living flesh inside the lab, as you were investigating, you saw that the door to the lab began to shift and morph as it took a new form. And that is where we are picking up. If everyone would do me a favor and roll initiative, I'm going to get the music to playing something a little more intense, and we're going to get this party started.
So that's a natural 20, which brings me to a 23. And I don't like that start. I could have used that literally anywhere else.
Okay. Duly noted. Look, if you'd like to take a different result, you're welcome to use your crit or your advantage. Yeah, so let's do anyone over 20. Anyone else over 20?
I have a 20 total.
Okay, so we've got Zeke at 23. We've got 647 at 20. Okay, and give me in the 15 to 20 range.
15.
Okay.
17.
All right. So next up will be Sedilla. And then I can do math. Okay. Yes. Okay. And so then we've got Tori. And what did you get, Doc?
An 11.
An 11? Okay. Thank you. And just for the record today, this creature that you are facing, and for those of you who might be interested in the audience, this is not a creature that appears in the Dark Matter books. This is something I homebrewed specifically for this game. But we might see some stat blocks from the Dark Matter setting later. We'll have to see.
Ominous.
Look, I don't know what y'all are gonna
Little
do.
bit.
I don't know what y'all are gonna do. So
We're gonna live. We're gonna live.
let me describe the scene really quickly, and then Zeke, you will be the first in initiative. We're here in this dimly lit lab, and as you are approaching this door, Zeke, you actually are the one who goes to take a look at it to see whether or not you can identify something about this this door. Your spell on it, you cast True Name Object, and it fails. And it's at that moment that you see it begins to. It's this large. I picture it as circular stone door with like runes and stuff carved into it. And at this moment, it begins to twist and morph, and you watch as it almost begins to stand up, not necessarily on legs, but it narrows and straightens. And as it does this, one half of its form appears to twist into that of a stone table. legs kind of pointed towards you. And then on the other side, you watch as this other half of it begins to twist, and this like stone arm comes out, and shards of glass begin to pierce out of it on the end, creating effectively what looks like a net and a mace of some type. But this is what the form does. Zeke, what are you doing?
I don't like that. I am probably within melee range of it, ain't I?
I would give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you are 10 feet away.
Ooh, I like that benefit. I will basically be scrambling as far behind 6 as I possibly can. Possibly like, oh, fuck, the furniture is attacking! And I will be casting, as a bonus action, using my rushed incantation, discern true name creature this time.
Okay.
So it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw. Alrighty. Well, that is a natural 1, so I don't think it's gonna do great. And what do you know? What do you know about this creature?
I know its true name, which I didn't think that would work.
It's not a wise creature, for the record.
I like that a lot. I will
Okay. Well,
change the plan completely.
so, and I'm going to give you the name of the stat block, and then we'll call that the true name because it's a thing that doesn't exist in the real world or in other like D&D dark matter lore. The creature is called a Form Devourer. Is the class, the type of creature, and this one is specifically a Form Devourer Gestalt.
I don't like that one bit, but okay. So sorry, that threw me off a lot. I will simply go and grab my blaster and shoot it for now.
Okay.
I will basically aim at it, and knowing its true name, I will basically try to get it in a spot where it could be vulnerable and shoot the shit out of it. Which is I'm rolling far too well today. 21?
A 21 is going to hit.
Okay. That's okay. That is a 24 on the damage. I rolled 2 6s.
All right, and that
I
is
don't like this.
Force damage because it's a blaster.
Radiant damage.
Radiant damage. Okay, and that was, as you said, 24.
Well, 12 actually, but I made it vulnerable, so
Right.
24.
Okay, hey, that's fine. You can make it vulnerable. That's part of your abilities. And for the record, Zeke has now hit something.
Woo! Woo! Thank you. That's the only time I will hit anything.
Maybe. Okay, so that brings us to 6, 4, 7. Unless Zeke, do you want to move or anything like that?
I'm moved behind 6.
You've stepped behind 6. How far away would you like to be, 6, then, since it's your turn?
I'm imagining probably 5 or 10 feet, your choice.
You could be 10 feet. I will not make you start in melee range with the creature if you don't want to be.
Okay. So I'm going to start by setting my flashlight down on the floor so that, there's still light, but pointing up,
Yeah.
hopefully. So,
Yeah, sure.
And then I'm going to do something very stupid. I would like to rush this creature and try to tackle it.
Okay. Let's call that an athletics check. And I will just let you know that the creature is a large creature. So it's
Okay.
filling a 10 by 10 space.
Okay. So I should still be able to grapple it if it's
Yeah.
one size larger than me.
You should be able to.
Okay. That is a 22 athletics.
All right, that is going to beat its 13. So you have this creature. You have this creature in your arms.
I don't like how carefully you said that.
It is immune to the grapple condition, but you are holding on to it. Would you do me a favor and make a Constitution saving throw?
I would like to crit that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. That is a success. Nothing happens.
So that's a 28.
Nothing happens right now.
Okay. And then for my second attack action, I've still got my blaster in my hands, so I'm going to try to get the blaster to where I can shoot it.
Sure.
It's going to be a disadvantage because I assume.
It is going to be... So mechanically, it is a disadvantage. However, you are going to note that this creature is not necessarily trying to, like, not get into melee range with you. It's fine with being in your arms. It has no issue with that whatsoever. So I'm going to say that you can make a straight roll because it doesn't mind that you're up close and personal.
I like the sound of that. All right. Well, that is, with my blaster, that's going to be a 24 to hit.
That will indeed hit.
All right. So it takes 7 points of radiant damage.
Okay, excellent. Alrighty. Nice. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
That's it for me.
All right, then let's just keep moving along. Sedilla.
Can I get to a place where I'm within 10 feet of it?
Yes,
as
absolutely.
I'm grabbing compassion?
Mm-hmm.
Great. In that case, I would like to overcharge, scatter, compassion at it in general. Just forever and ever.
Okay. Yeah. And as this happens, you hear in the distance, if I'm not mistaken, the sound of cannons.
Oh, I love the sound of cannons. It's making me a little sad that I'm not where the cannons are, but if I blast this thing to pieces fast enough, I can get to where the cannons are.
Yes.
So let's just try and murder this thing.
Compassion is the 1812 overture.
No, that is empathy.
Oh, dang it. You don't hear cannons yet.
Get it right, Josh.
Compassion is the impactor cannon.
Never mind. You don't hear cannons. I was trying to get thematic with you, and I jumped the gun.
I know. I'm sorry, but the 1812 is a little too risky with 6 on him because it just damages everything.
That is a fair
which,
point.
you know, is more fun for later. When
You're
there's
right.
more. Never mind. For
Yes.
now, overcharge, scatter. I don't have to dash, so we're good with the run and gun. And I roll a 25 to hit.
That will hit.
Perfect. Let's hope on equal numbers on my dice because I took Blaster Roulette and I love it. That's 2 9s. So
Hey.
that's 3 9s for 18.
Alrighty. And that is radiant as well because it's a blaster.
Yeah, hang on. I get another 2 d12s.
Okay.
Because I overcharged it. And that's an extra 16.
Okay, for a total of 37 damage.
Yeah. And yes, that is radiant.
Perfect, thank you.
And I'm gonna gently put it back on my back because it needs to cool down for just a little bit. And
Totally fair.
grab some of my other blasters.
Yeah,
just
you know.
just to make can't be here empty-handed.
Blasters, grenades, things that blow up.
Cannons.
It's
I have
fun.
a lot of options.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm good where I am.
Excellent. Tori.
All right, so I really want to stab it, but this is probably more important. So I'm going to cast Geodesic Shield.
Okay.
Right around where we all are. I don't think I can get 647 because it's a 15-foot radius, and He's already run up.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I have an accent. Sorry. So this contains clean, breathable air, and airborne substances can't penetrate it, like poison gas, smoke, or fog. It blocks spells, range attacks, and some other effects, which is the actual wording. It has a 10 AC and 20 hit points, and it spells when it reduced to 0, it stops.
Okay.
So hopefully it helps.
And does that block outbound spells as well, or just inbound?
Creatures contributed. Does not specify, so I'm guessing both. Which
Okay.
might make this a mistake.
Yeah, good to know. We will play with it as such and see what happens. Okay, great. Yes, absolutely. I would say that you can't quite get 647 in range, simply because he is 10 feet away from the cluster of the remainder of you. So if you want to get everyone in the back half, which is everyone else, you couldn't get him.
Yep, that's a plan.
Okay. Alrighty.
And that's it for me.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. And that brings us to the form Devourer. Okay, so you are going to watch as the large table shape in one arm. I'm calling it an arm. It's not really a humanoid. It's more of just like this massive mass of shifting, morphing stuff. You'll notice that the majority of the body still appears like the stone door, but now this stone table has jutted off, and this stone arm with the glass shards has jutted off. And you watch as this table comes around and begins to close 647 in to the body of the creature. And that is going to be its grapple attack. Does a 26 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Okay. And you feel as the solid form of the table begins to press you into the solid form of this door, and there's this kind of squeezing as you are being, I don't want to say constricted, but you're being held. Could you make a strength saving throw for me?
13. Nope, that's a lie. It's... that is correct. 13.
A 13. You are grappled, and could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
10.
Okay. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage and are both grappled and now poisoned.
I am incapable of being poisoned, thanks to my Golem upgrade piece.
Okay. We will note that there is residue of the creature on your skin. That while you are not suffering from the effects of the poison status, until the residue is removed, it is still there. Okay, and so that is its first attack, and then it is going to kind of twist and rotate and move forward, and with its other arm, it is going to make an attack, I guess, at the barrier that you've put up, Tori. It's aiming for whomever is in front. I will say probably like Sedilla or Zeke would be in the very front of that group, being the ones that have just done things. Does a... you said the barrier's got an AC of 10, right? Then a 20 is going to hit. It will do... math. It will do 20 damage.
Bye-bye shield.
the shield is gone, but it stops this arm of this creature in its tracks. And as you think...
We should do something.
It did do something. As you think that this might be the end of it, its arm extends, reaching out, kind of bludgeoning into... I'm just going to roll a die to see who it is, if it's... which of the four of you it is. I'm going to roll this one, because that's got 4 numbers. Okay. And it is going to hit Sedilla with a 28 to hit.
Medium armor proficiency, Josh. Medium. Of course that hits.
Okay. I'm just checking. You could be super dexterous. And that is going to be...
She's still like 10 feet away from me, right?
Yes. The creature has rotated its body so that it is now standing between you and the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is 18, 22, 28 points of slashing damage, which I believe your amoeboid form has a benefit towards.
Yes. I would like to reform as it partly passes through me and sort of go and take a whole bunch of less damage. Let me just roll for that.
You can absolutely do that.
And it's not bad. I take 6 points less.
Okay.
So what did you say, 28? So that's
that'll bring it down to 22.
22, yeah.
Could you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
Yes. Fortunately, I do have Constitution. Dirty 20.
Okay. As this happens, you are able to, as you reconstitute your form, make sure that there's no little bits of this creature left
like
on
with
you.
the dust, sort of house clean it out.
You've just expunged bits of this creature and have resisted this poisoned effect that 647 is not suffering from either, because Vect.
Yeah.
Okay. And that brings us to Doc.
Would prefer not to get hit like that again. That was a lot of hit points gone. Just sort of going, Doc!
Alright. Is there anywhere that I can stand that puts me within touch range of both 647 and Sedilla?
You could stand inside the creature.
Uncomfortable.
Don't worry about me.
Okay. In that case, okay, here's what I'm going to do instead. So, you see, Doc's right arm and hand start to split down the middle at a seam and split into like 2 sub-arms. And the thumb retracts into his hand as his fingers start to glow at the fingertips. And he's going to reach out towards Sedilla's back, and he will say, "Engineer Sedilla, please prepare for combat augmentation." And I'm going to cast Polybrachia. So you see these 2 arcane sigils appear on Sedilla's back as the fingers start to like trace them onto like her skin. And as he draws them, they start to like move outward as he like almost like 3D prints these 2 glowing white tendrils. And so what that spell does is it basically gives you 2 extra arms to hold things with. You also have advantage on strength athletics checks made using those arms. And if the arms are used to carry weapons, you can use a bonus action to make an additional melee weapon attack using them.
Okay.
But what this basically means is you can now do things like carry 2 two-handed weapons or one-handed weapons or any combination of the 2.
I've never loved anyone as much as I love you right now. I have so many weapons.
Oh.
And then as as the light on my fingertips kind of like dies down as it finishes printing them, they start to reform, but instead of forming back into like my hand, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast finger guns. So then the arm kind of like partially closes, but the internal components kind of reconfigure themselves into like this gun barrel that you can see on the inside.
Okay. Alrighty. And you need to make an attack roll for that one, yes?
No, it's a bonus action to cast a spell, but I have to actually take an action to attack.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm just getting it ready.
You've prepared
it. Yeah. So I think that if I can't get any closer to 647, I'm actually going to move back a bit.
Okay.
Just to like kind of keep myself out of this thing's range.
Yeah, that's totally doable. I will say that you are standing for the time being behind where Sedilla and Zeke are, and so are able to pull back without issue. Yeah, okay. How far back would you like to go?
I'll actually go back like probably my full movement.
Okay, totally fine. Alrighty, you are 30 feet back. That's going to put you kind of actually at the entrance of the lab area. You're not fully like around the corner. You still got a line of sight on what's happening, but you're kind of at the door to the lab.
Okay, I might actually move 20 feet back then, just so I can keep a better eye on what's happening.
Yeah, totally fair. Alrighty, if that is that brings us back to the top of the initiative order with Zeke. You are now in melee range with this creature that has moved up into your space. You have, a clear shot at it without hitting 647. There is currently a table between you and 647, kind of, but it's the arm table thing. Trying to describe this creature is a challenge, and I apologize.
It's okay.
What would you like to do?
Who else is within 5 feet of the creature?
Definitely 647, and I would say Sedilla. And then Tori, would you like to be within 5 feet of the creature or not?
I probably am, because I probably wasn't too far behind Sedilla.
Okay, so the three of you are all within 5 feet.
Zeke looks really, really torn for a few seconds. Oh, not seconds, moments, perhaps. Before he basically looks at where 6 would be. Alright, 6, I need you to trust me, and I really apologize for this. I will once again use Rushed Incantation to discern to name creature. And 6, you feel this horrible sensation of something prodding and digging through your mind and seeing everything there is to see. If you want, you can make a wisdom saving throw to resist the effect. Zeke has never done this before.
I would trust Zeke.
Okay.
Okay.
What does it do?
I now know his true name, which in itself really isn't that much, but I can do a lot of things with this. I would probably not move back, but as per my action, cast Utter Energy on the DS6 here. An aura of damaging energy radiates from the target within range when a creature comes within 5 feet of the target for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there and must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 3d6 damage, or half as much. So that hits quite a lot of people, but also the creature.
Alrighty.
Zeke is willing to accept.
Alrighty. And that happens on 647's turn? Or on your turn? Like, I'm just trying to figure out...
For the first time on a turn, so for the first time we all need to make dex saving first.
Okay.
And... Or start... Yeah, when a creature starts its turn within the aura. The aura holds for 1 minute.
Okay.
So it's just there.
Okay. So it sounds like the first one goes now.
Yeah.
647, Sedilla, Tori, and Zeke. I need deck. Or if it's centered on 6, does 6 have to make it?
Probably no, he doesn't.
Okay, so 6, you're good.
Thank
But
goodness, because I rolled a natural 4.
fair enough.
But he sees 14.
And it's a dex saving throw.
Yeah.
Nat 1.
Oh.
The creature has a 15.
That saves.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it lightning.
Lightning damage, okay.
That's in total 10, half to 5. Does that succeed?
Okay. And so it was 3d6, 4d6 damage?
3d6 damage.
Okay. And is it halved on a successful save?
Yes.
Okay. Give me the number.
10, half to 5.
10 half to 5. Okay. Alrighty, and
That's it. That's my turn.
Sedilla, Tori, and Zeke, I trust that y'all will all take care of that on your own.
Yep.
That brings us to your turn, 647. If there's nothing else you'd like to do, Zeke. Okay, 6.
So, given that it's immune to grappling, I'm not sure like how that manifests itself. Would I have the impression that I would not, like, given its form, be able to like grab it and drag it?
Yeah. I think you could move it. And you feel that, right? Its form is solid, but you feel there's this slippery nature to it, where as you hold it, you can tell that you are only still in contact with the creature because it chooses to be in contact with you.
So it can move away at any time.
Yes. You have seen that basically one half of its body shifted into a table, and the other half kind of extended and elongated and shifted into this large mace Morningstar-like thing. You feel like if it wanted to, and you can tell even as you're holding onto it, it's in the same way that, like, you know, a 2-year-old holds onto their father's leg. Like, you're not stopping it from going anywhere.
Yeah.
You might take a ride, but you're not keeping it restrained or anything like that, if that makes sense.
Alright. I would like to use the shove action to try to push this thing out of melee range from my friends.
Alrighty. I'm going to make a strength saving throw for the creature.
Be an athletics check.
Oh, you're right.
I got a 14.
Okay. It did get an 18.
Okay.
So as you try to push this creature, you actually see as, like, it doesn't have, like, necessarily feet or legs, but it is kind of propped up off of the ground, the majority of its mass on, like, 3 kind of, like, rock forms. You watch as those rock forms actually, like, dig into and become one with the rock ground here inside the lab. And you watch as momentarily as you push, it becomes one with the environment. And then as soon as you finish pushing, it seems to detach again.
Okay. For my second attack, I would like to use the shove action to try to push this thing.
Okay, go ahead and give me one more roll.
Rolls are terrible. That's an 18.
Okay. You do have an advantage, which you are welcome to use if you would like.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it.
Okay, it rolled a 19.
Oh my word. Okay.
So again, as you do this, you shove and you feel that it is just, well, it's right now its form is rock. You are trying to push a gigantic boulder that does not want to budge.
Okay. That is my turn.
Alrighty. Cool. That brings us to Sedilla.
Right. I've been trying to map out what I can hold in all my arms now.
It's a few things. We've got an Excel spreadsheet just for the blasters that you can use.
I mean, I do have 7 pages of character sheet right now, so yes, we're working through this. But first things first, does this creature look like it weighs more than 500 pounds or less than 500 pounds?
At this moment,
Mm-hmm.
give me a really quick intelligence check.
My absolute best stat. 24.
It seems like right now it probably weighs more than 500 pounds.
All right. I was halfway out. I reabsorbed the gravity manipulator. And we'll stick with the blasters, I guess.
Okay.
So we're going arm 1 blaster, arm 2 blaster, arm 3 taser, arm 4 hard light dagger.
Okay. Excellent. Give me all of those attacks. To make this easier, I will tell you, this is a large creature, but it's not like super dexterous or anything. The AC that you're trying to hit is a 16.
Okay. So that's both blasters hit, and then I have to check on my taser because that has an attack bonus equal to my intelligence bonus and my proficiency modifiers. That's good. So that hits with the taser, and then the dagger is a miss because that's a 9. That's terrible. We're not mentioning the dagger.
Okay. All right.
So we're going blaster, taser.
Mm-hmm.
Blasters. 9, 10, 15. 17 on the blasters, radiant damage.
Okay, and that's for both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Because my roulette didn't go off, sadly. And then for the taser, we are going to grab some d8s. Oh, finally a good roll. 14 lightning damage, and it can't take reactions.
Okay. Good to know.
And then that's all my arms, because the taser is a bonus action when I attack with the extra arm. Is that an extra bonus action, or is that instead of my regular bonus action? I'm looking at Doc, because he gave me these arms. You're muted even though you're talking to me.
Sorry, it's your regular bonus action.
It's my regular bonus action. All right, then I think I'd like to move away a little more now that it cannot take reactions and I can't get an opportunity attack against my little face.
Yes, it cannot take reactions, so you are able to move back.
I would like to slurp away now that it can no longer take reactions.
Of course. How far would you like to move?
Well, next round, if I'm still standing by then, Compassion is back up, so I'm good with about 30 feet away.
Okay, that'll put you, I'll say, right next to where the front door to this building is. You still got a line of sight.
Hear something about the cannons that are happening outside as well.
You know, it was just going to be flavor as you used empathy, so that
empathy's
maybe
coming. Don't worry about empathy.
I trust. Okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's enough for one turn.
Alrighty, that brings us to Tori.
All right, so Tori is going to look at the creature, realize her shield is gone, and that everyone's going to die, and say, fuck it, I'm going to go for it. So Tori's going to rush the creature, brandishing her blade, and as she draws this green laser sword, it's going to glow with this ambient aura of energy, and I am going to use spell channeling to add the effects of Hard Light Blaster, which adds 3d6 force damage. I'm going to use my crit to automatically crit.
Yeah, okay.
And now, because of the way that we leveled up, I automatically do max damage with my weapon, and I also add a dice to it, and also max damage on the spell as well. So that is, I have to roll 1 die.
Magnificent. Yeah. So, yeah, with an auto crit, you're going to hit. Just give me the damage, double those dice.
That is 56 damage.
56.
Yeah, it's...
and it's all radiant?
Yeah, no. So, wait. Yes, actually. Yeah, it's all radiant. Oh no, I'm sorry. 18 of it is force.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Boom.
As you come in with this assassination type move, I mean, it's you're thinking has to be lethal, right? I mean, you're
Absolutely.
going.
Yeah, it's totally gonna kill it.
You're going for the kill. You go and you do this a massive amount of damage, and you watch as the form takes all of these hits, and then it is its turn immediately afterwards.
I'm not done.
Okay, that's
I have
fine.
more things to do.
That's just fine. It has taken some significant hits, but you can watch as it begins to, even the moment these hits connect, the form starts to begin to repair itself a little bit as your hits take place. What are you doing to continue your turn?
Well, first I'm gonna say nope, but I'm going to stab it again.
Alrighty.
This is going to just be a normal attack. And that's a total miss. Total miss. No way it's going to hit.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, we're screwed.
As you see this happen, you go to strike the second one, maybe a little taken aback by seeing, even as this damage has just connected, and you think this has to be a huge amount of damage. And while the creature doesn't necessarily bleed, you felt like it might be bloodied. It begins to heal back up a little bit. Putting us...
One
Okay.
thing, I'm going to have to do this lot. Could you give me a dexterity saving throw, Tori? You are.
Is it on Doc's turn, or... I'm sorry, on
everybody's turn at the start of your turn, or if
Okay.
you enter the aura.
Okay. Yep, that's a good call.
That's a fail. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh, no. Oh, that's 9 points of lightning damage.
Thank you, Zeke. You're so helpful.
Hey, Zeke has now officially got more hits against his crew than he has against opponents, so... you watch as the thing heals up. Its form begins to repair itself slightly. 6, can I ask you how you're feeling over there right now in terms of hit points? You're good?
Just merely a flesh wound.
Okay. As this takes place, and you hear this phenomenal amount of damage from Tori, kind of on the other side of one of these moving stone limbs, you...
Because that damage only went against the creature, not against me.
Correct.
Right?
It only went against
So
the creature.
I've only gotten hit by the creature the once.
Correct.
Okay.
As this, as you hear that though, you have this terrifying realization, as the table that has been pressing against you continues to press against you, and then you feel the creature actually move forward into your space, and the stone exterior that you had currently been pressed up against becomes fluid for a moment as you pass into the form and are now feeling that you're being engulfed by this creature. I need you to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, and I believe that is at disadvantage because you're grappled, if I'm not mistaken.
No, grapple shouldn't do that. I think only restrain would do that.
I am double checking right now just to be sure.
I mean, rules is written.
Yeah.
How you fight?
Correct. Correct. Never mind. You do not have to roll a disadvantage. That's a misunderstanding on my part. I'm remembering different conditions.
Yeah. So dex save is 16.
Okay. You succeed, so you can choose to be pushed outside the form of the creature if you would like, or you can choose to. You can choose what happens here. Would you like to be engulfed, or would you like to be pushed outside the body of the creature?
So it's moving into my space away from the rest of the party.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stay outside of its form.
All right. As this happens,
Am I moving then?
and as this happens, it tries to force you into its form, right? And as you succeed on this save, you actually, instead of passing through what I'm going to call the torso of the creature, you instead pass through the table of the creature and find yourself on the exterior, no longer held against its body in this way. I will say mechanically that at this point you were not grappled by it. I do need you... never mind. You save. You don't take any damage. You are pushed to the exterior of this creature's form. That is its turn.
Not quite. Could you give me the dexterity saving throw, please?
For the creature, yes.
I'm going to do this a lot.
That is a natural 1 for an 11.
That is 12 lightning damage to it.
Okay, it'll take 12 lightning
See,
damage.
the spell is useful.
It sure is. All right. Yeah. Yes. Okay, and you do have a crit, Andrew. So I will update that on the screen while it is Doc's turn. What are we doing, Doc?
Okay. So at this point, Sedilla is behind me, like closer to the door.
Uh-huh.
Okay. In that case, I think she's far enough away that I don't have to immediately worry about her safety. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is a little panel on my back, not quite where my medical drone is going to pop open, and a smaller drone is going to fly out. And this one is kind of like angular in design, with what looks like a small barrel in the center and little arcs of electricity like pass between the 2 points as I cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
And with my bonus action, and I'm going to use, as part of that spell, I'm going to move it up towards the creature and make an attack with it.
Okay.
So it's going to be a 16.
A 16, that is going to hit.
All right. So Spiritual Weapon deals D8. Okay. So it's going to take 11 points of force damage.
Okay.
And then for my action, I'm going to take aim with my finger guns and make an attack with it.
Alrighty. And that automatically hits, right?
No?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a spell attack.
Okay, then give me the attack roll. I couldn't remember. I thought that there was a spell in the expansion that automatically hit, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, it's not finger guns.
Okay.
I know that much.
Okay. It is a cool spell, though.
Yeah, that's going to be a 17 to hit.
A 17 does hit.
All right, so it's going to take 10 points of force damage.
10 points of force damage. Okay. Yeah. I will say at this point you can see that just the physicality of this creature. It is struggling to hold together, but it seems surprisingly lively in spite of the fact that its form is like there's holes in it and bits are falling off and crumbling. It doesn't seem like at the point where you would expect a creature that is very close to death to be, if that makes sense. But
It is also yelling, "It's just a flesh wound."
it is also yelling, "It's just a flesh wound," in the way that only a creature composed out of stone and glass could do that. which just kind of sounds like. It's my best stone on stone impression. Okay. Anything else, Doc?
No, that's gonna be my turn.
Okay. Great. That brings us back to Zeke.
It can still take your actions, can't it? That was previous rounds. Zeke will stay where he is, and he will get out his rapier.
Okay.
And
It is invisible, isn't it?
the rapier is unfortunately not invisible anymore. I have to... Oh wait, is it?
I don't think you've cast a concentration spell since then.
No, it is still invisible.
It is still invisible. Excellent.
My God.
Go
So
ahead.
It's just really stupid.
Go ahead and attack this creature with your invisible rapier.
Thank you. I will crit.
All right, you crit.
I do a thing on crit. So what I can do is, first of all, I make it vulnerable again, as always. So I basically just see where it looks most hurt and just jam the rapier in there.
Okay.
And I will hit it in such a way that it is concussed. Let me roll damage first. Oh God, I have so many things. So 1d8, that's 6, is 12. How do we do crits?
Just double all the dice rolled.
Okay, so... Oh, okay. That's 12, which is 24 again of
Then
piercing damage this time.
okay, and then add your modifier and then double it because it's vulnerable.
Okay, that's right. That's 6 piercing damage once more.
Okay.
And after that, it is now stunned,
Okay.
which is nice.
So what is the
Until the-
total on damage there after the vulnerability as well?
The total of damage is a 30. I
30.
believe.
Okay.
30, yes.
You
Also need to make a dexterity save.
okay? It'll make a dex save. You feel like this creature.
I need.
Okay. Yes. Okay. You do feel like this creature, for what it's worth, the form of it seems to not respond to the piercing damage in the way you would expect, but the vulnerability negates some of that, as it will take half damage. And does it need to do anything to resist being concussed, or is it just concussed?
It's just concussed. It is
All right.
stunned.
Perfect. Good deal.
So a blast of lightning strikes my face, by the way.
Okay.
I don't think I can do anything. I can try something weird, which is I will once again, as a bonus action, use a rushed incantation, and I will cast Utter Ego.
Okay.
So basically, I just say its true name but skip certain syllables, and basically sounds very sickly sweet. And the creature is now charmed by me. There is no save involved. It is just automatically charmed.
Okay. All right.
I will move the fuck out.
You can do that. Alrighty. Is that your turn?
That is my turn, yes.
All right. 6. You're up. As this is taking place, you see that the creature now seems to respond strangely after this to what Zeke has done. And you do see that the form of it seems to be struggling to hold together. You're up.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
I will. I'm going to do. Do I feel like I would be at disadvantage shooting it with my blaster?
At this point, I'm going to say that yes, in melee
Okay.
range. How long did that hold on reactions last? Is that gone now that it's been around?
The one I did?
Yes.
And I can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Okay, so then it could take reactions now, but you could step back if you wanted to.
It's stunned.
Oh, you're right. Never mind, it's stunned. And also charmed.
Doesn't charm break if we hit it, though? Zeke?
Not under the
So he's
specific
doing his
spell.
little satyr thing?
It's a specific spell that Zeke used that I think allows that to not take place.
Perfect.
Based on...
No, unfortunately, until... Yeah, it's when it takes damage, it's
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay. Never mind.
Would I know that?
Zeke, have you used this before with the group?
Not canonically, I think.
Okay. So you
Oh
probably...
no, wait, he hates using that spell. No, he definitely hasn't.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I would like to do then is drop my blaster
Okay.
and pull out my laser sword.
Yeah.
It's basically a big old 2x4 of light.
Yeah.
And I would start. Do I have advantage because it's stunned?
Yes, I do believe you would. And it might be an auto crit.
Okay. So my first attack. Oh yes, that's a 26 to hit.
That will hit. It is not an auto crit. Wait. Hold up, because it says it's incapacitated. Yeah, it does not auto crit, but you did have advantage on that attack. So yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. And actually, I would be two-handing this.
Okay.
Because
Give me that
I
extra.
don't have anything else in my hands.
Give me that extra damage.
9 points of damage.
9?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I would like to hit it again
Yeah.
with a 27 to hit.
Mhm, that's gonna hit.
So that's another 12 points of damage.
All right. At this, you strike this creature twice. What does it look like as you knock this creature down to 0 hit points?
I think that it's just this this laser sword comes out of a hole in my hand and I grip the base of it. There's no like handle or anything. It's just this big old block of light, and I grab it with the other hand and just overhand chop at it twice.
Okay. All right. So as you do this, you watch as it kind of, the shape of this creature goes from this large stone monstrosity. I mean, it's just this thing. You watch as this, you hit it once, twice, and it kind of falls into a gigantic pile of flesh. And as that happens, you watch as it kind of twitches and moves a little bit and seems stationary for a moment. That brings us to Sedilla. The creature appears to be defeated. What do you do?
Well, Sedilla has been brushing up on some of the old Earth media people have been sharing with her and is now a firm believer in something called the double tap.
Okay.
So she's going to grab Compassion and she's going to shoot it again.
All right. Shoot it again.
For a 21.
That's going to hit.
So I rolled very badly. It's cooled down for a round so I can overcharge again.
Okay.
Ugh. Oh, wait, it's Blaster Roulette, so this is actually not bad. I love this feat. I hate doing math though. This was a bad idea.
Yeah, math can be fun.
24 radiant damage.
24.
No, force damage. Sorry.
Okay.
Force damage. The other ones are radiant.
Cool.
And then I'm going to use one of the extra arms Doc gave me and have some of my nanobots swarm me. And I'm going to, let me find the correct page. I'm going to reconstruct myself partly. I'm going to spend 4 nano points to heal 4d6, because fuck this. This is not over.
All right. As you shoot this pile of now flesh with the blaster, you see that it reacts to the shot, kind of recoiling a little bit, but remains on the ground for now. Tori, you're muted.
All right, I definitely probably saw it wriggle, right?
Oh, you sure did. It is hard to miss.
Okay, I'm going to draw my blade again. I'm going to use my advantage. And I'm also going to spell channel. This time, both of Tori's eyes glow and light pours from them down the blade. I'm casting Eye of Anubis.
Okay.
And that's a crit. A crit on
Alrighty.
19.
Excellent.
So that means I automatically max damage for... So... 16 plus...
It is technically, I guess, prone right now on the ground, so you wouldn't need to burn an advantage to have advantage.
Okay, cool.
Just, you know, for the sake of making life easy.
That is 30 damage. All of it radiant.
All of it radiant. Okay, again, you see as it reacts to this impact of damage, recoiling, but still seems to be moving somewhat, shifting.
I'm also going to Misty Step away from it.
Alrighty.
Back towards Sedilla.
Yep.
Just poof, and Tori's there. Like, go boom. Make it boom.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Dilla is just sort of just holding empathy a little further away from you, but definitely pointing at the creature.
Yep. Okay.
Once more, I'm sorry. If you were within 5 feet of 6, please make it extend to saving throw.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Really? 15.
15. Okay, that passes, so you take 4 points of lightning damage.
Oh, you're killing me here.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
That brings us to the creature's turn again. And at the start of its turn, it takes a form again, kind of coming up out of this pile of flesh. And this time, it takes the shape of a... It's interesting, it's fascinating. It appears to form up into a gigantic greenish blue, almost crystalline shape with many facets, as it is now appears to be like a gigantic, like aquamarine type of gem. And as it does this, it is going to take a hold up, it's still, I'm gonna say that it's still stunned. How long does that stun last?
I don't know, but give me a dex saving throw.
Give me,
I'll find out.
yeah, sure, I'll give
Long
you
enough.
I'll give you the save. It's gonna be pretty high. It's 20 23.
Yeah, it's not stunned anymore. Yeah.
Okay, it is not stunned anymore.
But it takes 4 points of... Let's make it fire damage for a change.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if that was a good call.
It reacts poorly to the fire damage. Okay. it reacts poorly to the fire damage.
Thank you.
Recoiling from it slightly. Who is still in melee range with it? Just 6? Okay. Well then, 6. You are going to take the full brunt of this creature's attack.
Bring it.
Its first attack is going to be, it's using its multi-attack, it's going to be that grapple again. That is a natural 20.
All right.
Okay. That is... 24 plus 5 is 29 points of bludgeoning damage. Can you give me a strength saving throw?
22.
22. You are not grappled. And now it is going to make a rend attack as part of its multi-attack. That is a 15 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay. So what happens...
Hey, you finally rolled less than a 20.
I sure did. So what happens is, I'll describe these attacks, and then it does get one more still, is a section of this crystal form appears to grow out and tries to wrap around you, but you are able to, while taking damage from it, you're able to kind of sidestep so that it does not pull you into its form again. And then a second section of it like juts out, almost like a spear, stabbing at you, this crystalline spear. And you're able to kind of deflect it with the natural armor of your metallic form. And that is not a great roll, so I'm going to burn my advantage to try to hit. And that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Because I get advantages too, and today's the last session, so I might as well use them. And that is going to be 15 points of slashing damage. As this spear that has come out that you kind of deflected, then kind of almost swirls back around, cutting into your form somewhere where, let's say that it kind of cuts down near your leg, causing some damage there. And that is its turn, bringing us to Duck.
Okay, so while this is happening, I'm going to have my spiritual weapon attack. So like a little jolt of electricity jumps out from it and just like zap it a little bit.
Okay.
So that's going to be a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
It's going to take 7 points of force damage.
Okay.
And I am going to burn a sorcery point to cast a second level Cure Wounds on 647. So
Okay.
He raises his left hand, and another arcane sigil appears over 647's like the back of his chest plate.
Okay.
And you see like these little like jolts of energy like zap into him to like start mending some of the cracks in his armor.
Okay. Are you able to cast Cure Wounds at range with your character configuration?
By using a sorcerer point, I can cast it at range.
Okay, perfect.
As a range spell.
Okay, I wanted to be sure that it wasn't like using it to cast a quicken spell as opposed to...
Yeah, distance spell.
Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, you can do that. Is that your turn? Anything else you'd like to do?
Well, first, 6 is going to recover... That's going to be 15 points of health. So get those back, and I'm going to scooch back a little further so I'm closer to the door.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So once again, I'm very sorry. As you moved into 5 feet of...
He did not
6.
move into.
You
stayed
didn't? Oh, right,
he stayed
sorry.
far away.
Never mind.
Distance fell.
I'm
Yep.
oversensitive to this one.
Yep. Okay. And that does bring us back to the top of initiative. Zeke.
I'm out of tricks. I will take a shot at it. I heard that sometimes works. Not this time, though. Not this time. That's an 11 to it. I don't presume that hits.
That is not going to hit, unfortunately. Is there
I
anything
gave
else
you a present
you would like to do? Oh, that's right.
ages ago.
Is there anything else you would like to
Very
do?
true. Very true. There is one other thing I would like to do, which is unfortunately not used Siddha's present. I will open the suitcase in a speed which is frankly ludicrous, and get out a flask of slightly sticky oil for no reason that you need to know whatsoever.
Okay.
That's it.
Duly noted. 6, you're up.
I would like to take a bonus action, given what's likely coming, to use my second wind.
Okay.
So I get another 8 hit points back.
Alrighty.
And then I would like to, I guess, just keep chopping away at this creature.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what else to do. So that's gonna probably not hit. That's a 14. I think just misses.
That does not hit, unfortunately. But you have a second attack.
I do. I'm going to burn my advantage on this because that was a natural 3, and now I got a natural 20.
Hey, good deal.
So that is that's the wrong die. That's,
Yeah, your last attack was two-handed.
yeah, this one would be as well.
Great.
So that's 19 points of damage.
19, okay. Very good.
And then I would like to action surge and hit it 2 more times.
Yeah, alrighty. Just wail on this thing.
That's only a 13 though. That will hit though. That's a 22.
Okay, yep, that'll hit.
So that's another 9 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, okay. Alright. And again, you watch as you strike this creature, it drops again, dropping this crystalline form, returning to just appearing as a mound of flesh. And this time, you would note that it is singed a little bit. There appears to be a little bit of smoke coming from the creature. And is that your turn, 647?
That is my turn.
Okay. Siddhila. You're muted.
It's because I was still swearing.
Ah.
In the category, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm still not convinced it's dead. I'm going to take my movement
Mm-hmm.
to get... Can I move? Yeah, crap. How far is my blink button? Yeah, no, I'm going to have to stand in Swapper's spell, of in Zeke's spell, so I'm just going to move very close to the creature.
Yeah.
Can I get somewhere where I'm within 30 feet of the creature without being within 30 feet of everyone except for 6?
It's only 5 feet is all.
Yeah, that's not about your spell, it's about something I want to do.
Yeah. Doc is definitely, I think at this point, 30
Doc
feet
will
away
be
from the
fine.
creature. Tori is definitely 30 feet away from the creature with that Misty Step. Zeke, are you 30 feet away from the creature at this point? So I would say that it is possible for you to be within 30 feet or right on the edge of 30 feet, your choice.
Within 30 feet.
Within 30
Definitely.
feet of the creature.
Definitely. Yes.
With only 6 also being within 30 feet of the creature.
Great. And then I'm going to hold my action in the shape of empathy.
Okay.
And I will hold until the creature wakes up again.
Alrighty. That totally works. Anything else?
Can I hold my action and still take my bonus action now?
I would say I would let that happen, yeah. Why
Great.
not?
I would like to use my utility matrix's cloaking device to become invisible. At least for a
You-
little bit.
Are invisible for a little bit. Tori, I think you are 30-ish feet away. You've
Right.
seen all of this happen.
I'm going to follow Sedilla's lead. I'm not going to get any closer, but I'm going to... Unlike Zeke, I'm going to use the gift that Sedilla gave to me. And I am going to pull out my grenade, and I'm going to hold my action to throw it when it starts, getting uppity again. I'm
Okay.
also going to use my bonus action to do finger guns.
All right.
Let's see. So the tip of Tori's finger glows with light, and I have to make a spell attack. That is a 19.
Okay, that'll hit.
Let's see. Just 2 of these. That is 14 damage. Force damage.
Okay. Alrighty. Again, somewhat more... It's a little bit more weak than it had been previously. But it reacts to this impact of damage in its currently docile form. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm just confirming. So, at the start of the Form Devourer's turn, it will heal half damage, half of its normal healing, thanks to a certain burning sensation, and begins to reform. This time, it looks almost like a tree as it begins to sprout up. This wooden creature, but it's strange. It looks almost as if it's splintered in many ways, in many directions, as it looks as if it's a tree that's been struck by lightning in a lot of ways. There's kind of a singe mark on this tree with just splintering. You can tell that it's hurt. As it does this, I believe there are some held actions that need to be resolved.
I believe you're right.
Yep.
So, as it reforms, the rocket launcher I'm holding opens up all its barrels,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of them. The speakers in the handle that you can see in my character art start blasting the 1812 overture, including the bit with the cannons,
Yes.
as I fire wildly in every direction. Dexterity saving throws for everything within 30 feet of me.
Excellent.
I'm definitely using my advantage here.
I think you are...
You were not 30 feet.
You're not within
actually
30
moved,
feet
so you're
of-
not there.
Yeah, you're not
Oh,
within
that's right. Okay, cool.
30 feet.
So I think it's currently just 6 and the creature.
Yep. The creature rolls very well. But, I mean, even with a 29 dex save, I think it'll probably still take half damage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will.
I got a 19.
That's enough. Good. I'll total these up.
Thank you.
Uh, 45 halved.
Okay.
Fire damage.
Fire
Because it
damage.
seemed to not really like fire damage. So
It-
I grabbed empathy because it does fire damage.
Yeah. Absolutely. And simultaneously, Tori, were you going to throw your gift.
Oh yes, yes I was. It's going
Use
to be
the
very
present.
fun.
Use the present.
Yeah.
Double boom time.
Also, I'm no longer invisible. That stopped as soon as the overture
Oh
started
yeah,
playing.
I'm sure. And just flavor-wise, I'm gonna say that the canon plays the entirety of the 1812 overture, so it's still going,
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
So both 647 and the creature have to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It got a nat 1, so that's an 11.
It's going to take full damage then.
Cool.
You pass. So that is 48 fire damage. Because
Yes.
why not?
48. Is that halved? I assume that's not halved yet.
4d8, not 4d8.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the
No.
challenge of rolling d8s.
I only gave her the little grenade, not the big grenade.
Right.
So that's 19 fire damage. And just so you're aware, Josh, it's going to take 2d8 fire damage on its next turn. 6, you take half.
Okay.
And no damage on your next turn.
At this,
Can I just applaud Go as when Tori uses my grenade? Like, yes! That is what we make them for!
yes, this
Oh,
is
it's so much fun to
exactly
make things go boom with you, Xadilla.
exactly what we made
I
them
can't say
for.
this accent, it's so-
And you watch as this wooden stump creature begins to not just smoke, but smolder and burn. And as its form kind of comes down, it falls into the pile of flesh again, and this time it is flaming. It is burning, and seems to fall lifeless. It seems like a combination of fire damage being the killing blow may have been the thing that finally got rid of it, with some very clever moves here. Well done. I think now is a great time to take our break very quickly, as you have defeated this massive, somewhat overwhelming creature. We're gonna go to a break. So, friends, get your bio breaks on. We'll be here in just a few minutes. It'll be a short one so that we can, get stuff done. But we'll be right back.
Oh baby, I love your madness.
Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high quality Dungeons & Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wondered what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmrin. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Annalena, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far. And also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our undying love. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers. Drum roll, please. The Lore Master. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, Open for Adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. Go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Oh, hi! My name is Express Love. I'm the Senmarian god of coffee. Did you know that in Senmaria, every cup of coffee is made with found familiar coffee beans? That's canon. In Senmaria, every cup of coffee is good coffee because it's made with love by Found Familiar. Did you know that every bag of Found Familiar coffee features artwork from incredible members of the tabletop gaming community? That's canon. Each blend and roast of Found Familiar coffee features cool D&D names like Thieves' Cant, Face Step, and Pact Magic. In Senmaria, every royal meeting that Ray attends features the Cartographer's Blend, a brew of coffee made by Found Familiar in conjunction with Devin Rue. Now that's canon. Found Familiar coffee. Buy it today.
If you're like me, you play 5e on the weekends. Roll dice with friends, order pizza, the whole 9 yards. But maybe recently you've gotten a bit tired of it. Swords, axes, and the medieval look are cool and all, but it gets a little blah, right? How many fighters and rogues can you really play? You need a change. You need some science fiction. Dark Matter is a sci-fi campaign setting for 5e that sits on top of the core rules, so you don't have to learn a new system. It mashes up influences from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Star Wars, and Doom, with fantasy staples, so you can find yourself running away from space wizards or axe-wielding barbarians as you tear apart androids and aliens. And now, we're proud to introduce the Dark Matter Starter Kit, a standalone box set that includes everything you need to get playing. So what's inside? For starters, a brand new adventure, Conspiracy in the Stars, which is a cool neo-noir sort of thing. It's got a big two-sided battle map and tokens from characters and monsters. A bunch of tokens. A DM screen. I mean, look at this thing. Do I really have to say more? a load of pre-generated characters using some awesome new classes, and, last but not least, an easy-to-learn set of standalone rules, which means you can pick this up even if you've never even played D&D. Oh, and some dice. Go to magehandpress.com and back the Kickstarter today.
And we're back. Hey, that was a quick break, but we've got a whole lot to do. We were just talking offline, and everyone has some things that they want to do in the immediate aftermath of the battle. So, let's go around. What are you doing? I'll start with you, 647.
I would start by standing over the form of this creature for a long moment with my blaster or my laser sword at its at it just to make sure that it's not getting back up.
Yeah, it stays. You watch as the embers continue to burn as this slowly smokes and will continue to burn into nothing as long as you watch.
Okay. And then I would grab my blaster up off the floor and go into that room that that we were looking into, check the other form and make sure that it's, I assume it still seems long dead.
Yes, that seems to be remaining stationary for now.
Okay. Then I would head outside and do a quick patrol around the building.
Yep. Okay, cool. I will come back to you in a bit. Next up, Sedilla, what are we doing?
I am asking Tori if she could please get the bit of goo that got on me and I squirted off of me away from anyone and just sort of put it with the rest of the body with kinesis, so nobody has to touch it.
Definitely. I kinesis it back into the the smoking mound.
Yeah.
Little singe mound and just like
Yep.
And then I'm gonna walk over to Doc for a little bit of healing, and while I'm walking over there, I'm gonna shoot it with my blasters twice more, just to make sure.
It does not react. It seems to be very dead, and you watch as the fire continues to consume it.
Nice. In that case, I'll just go to Doc and I point to like the one bit of my blob that isn't reforming quite right. I have this little like indent where I'd like to have a pseudopod. This is going to make this. I want to hold my taser over here. Also, thanks for the extra arms. They were amazing. How long do I keep the extra arms?
10 minutes.
Nice.
Great. I'll just have empathy in one set and compassion in the other.
Excellent. Doc?
Yeah, so first things first, I will enact a decontamination protocol. So I will go up to 647 while he's kind of standing watch over this lump. And I'm not going to use the disinfecting spray. He's getting the laser treatment. So these little like red laser beams kind of like shoot from my fingertips and they kind of like sweep across his body to like clean off the goo that's like accumulated on him.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of do like a general sweep of the area, kind of like clean up any residual stuff that Tori didn't like set aside for Sedilla. And then when Sedilla approaches me for healing, the panel on my left thigh will like kind of pop open and pop out one of my healer's kits.
Yeah.
I'll take that out, and using my healer feat, I will administer some first aid. So
Cool.
That is going to be 1d6 plus 4 plus the max number of the target's hit dice. So that's going to be
okay.
5 plus 4 is 9, and since we're level 8, that should be another 8. So that should be 17 hit points.
Great.
All my little pseudopods are restored,
Excellent.
and I can hold my taser again.
I will say that this decontamination process, 6, you are no longer under the non-effects of the poison condition because you were immune to poison, but there was some residue on you that has been cleared up. Zeke, what are we doing?
Zeke starts packing back the flask of oil and the rapier, and it's very slow and mechanical movements.
Mhm.
He does not look to 6 as the aura just ends. And he basically stumbles towards the nearest table. Are there still tables there?
Oh yeah, the tables are all still there.
Okay. And starts mechanically casting a Discern True Name object on anything there, like tables, his rapier, anything, until he's forgotten 6's name.
Okay. Duly noted.
Does he look distressed?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Tori, is there anything else you want to do other than grab the sample thing with telekinesis? You're muted. You're
I'm gonna have it hover like 6 feet away from me,
Okay.
and walk over to Zeke. Hey Zeke, you got that black hole thing?
Yes. The black hole
And
just
I'll just
appears.
dip the sample in, and I'll be like, that's not gonna contaminate anything else that's in there, right?
No, they have separate chambers with anti-magic fields and the like.
Let me see. Are you all right?
Yes.
Are you lying?
No. Yes. It's
What's
a
happened?
lot to process. I don't think any of you would understand what exactly happened. But basically, I held a knife that could kill anything here, except for the creature, and I tried to use it against the creature. It was not a good idea. It just.
What did you do? I just thought you were at the back of the fight and shot a few blasts. What did you do?
No, it's not that important actually. Let's get going. There could be different things here. There could be.
We're gonna chat about this
somewhere-
later.
We can do that. Yes.
Right. Alright. Tori will walk away, but he's super suspicious.
Sure. All right. You take this time to clean up and collect whatever else you would like to do. 6 outside, you are kind of keeping an eye on things. And I'll say that like a minute or 2 passes while you're outside. Could I get you to give me a perception check?
Sure. And thanks to leveling up, I finally don't have a negative perception modifier. However, my natural 5 is probably still not going to be great. Brings me to a total of 7.
A total of 7. Okay. You, as you're looking around outside, things seem to be really calm. They seem very calm. And then off to your right, in the general direction that Muscles and her crew went, you hear a massive explosion. On the magnitude of something like what Sedilla would create. Yeah. That's what you hear.
I immediately poke my head back inside to make sure that Sedilla is still here.
Sedilla is in fact still inside the lab.
It would appear that something happened with the other party. Somebody else has set off an explosive.
What kind of explosive? Force? Radiant? Fire? Concussive? Orbital? Gravitational?
More importantly,
I
find
just
out if
stare
anyone
at her.
survived.
We should go see, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll
I
start
wanna know if-
slurping out the door.
I'll go with Sedilla because I want to know what happened to Muscles.
Okay. Doc, Zeke, are y'all following along, doing something else? What are we up to?
Yes, there's a long sigh and then he'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah, Doc follows as well.
On the way over, I think I would put a hand on Doc's shoulder and say, if we are about to have another fight, I could probably use some first aid first.
Very well. Please hold still. And I will also administer first aid to 647 using a healer's kit.
Okay.
I can do it for once every one of the target's short or long rests.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll that and let us know what the total is. While you're doing that math in your head, I'll describe what you see as you head over. And then you can give us the number in just a second. So you walk over that general direction. It's not actually hard to find where this is taking place because it's not just a single explosion. There are multiple explosions repeatedly. You hear the sounds of blasters as you get close and are passing through buildings. And it is actually, while you're still maybe 3 or 4 blocks away, that you see looming over a building as you're walking by what appears to be a gigantic moving... It looks like a building is moving. It looks like it should be a 3-story stone building. But the proportions are all wrong. And you hear a faint scream as the building kind of dips down below the roofs of the nearby buildings that you're looking over before coming back up, and you see a pair of legs sticking out of what appears to be a window before the legs are sucked in. You no longer hear that sound of screaming. Just for reference, this form devourer appears to be about twice the size of the one that you just fought.
We can't
It's so fucked, I love it.
Another moment passes. You get closer and you see that Muscles is running towards you as fast as she can, not holding a weapon, just running. And as she sees you, she is booking it back towards that main corridor that y'all came in and just yells, "Go, go, 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 go!" And spins around the corner, just trying to get out.
I'm gonna start booking it after Muscles. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm also going to try and connect to the main ship. That's okay.
Okay.
Commander Pebble or whatever, do you see that giant thing that's on the surface of the planet right now?
A moment passes. Then you get a transmission back. It's a little bit... it's not the best connection because you are inside of a large stone opening, but it's decent. Well, it's funny you should mention that. Yeah.
Wait,
which one are you talking about?
Oh, no. Okay. So, to clarify, I thought we'd already gotten out of the cave. I thought we sped up.
Sure. If you're waiting to do that communication when you get back to the cave, the connection is crystal clear. You hear the exact same thing.
And do we see any more form devourers?
Not immediately.
What do you mean, the others?
Well, there appear to be multiple moving things that have just emerged from beneath the ocean.
Right, let's get back. Let's get back now. Let's keep running. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. As y'all are running, Muscles splits off in her direction to get back to her ship.
As for running, can I contact the ship and just remind them that there is in fact a fully programmed launch sequence that has the ship ready to go and the pulse cannon ready?
Yep, you can absolutely do that. You get a response back. Oh yes, we have already initiated. We are waiting for you to get here. Move very quickly because we are going to get off.
Do any of my friends look like they have a more than 30-foot around movement speed? No?
Zeke, very shortly.
Ah, fair. In that case, we're good. I'll slurp along.
Okay. Y'all are running. And as you get down to kind of the base of the mountain, probably 90 feet or so away from where the entrance is, you see bursting out this large house-shaped structure as it appears to be giving chase. It is not moving faster than you, so you ought to be all right to get out. But I am assuming that you are using your actions to dash.
I will point out that every time I take the dash action, I can also use my blaster as a free bonus action because I took a run and gun.
Then
so I'm running and shooting.
You can take some pot shots at this thing
I
while
would
you
absolutely
go.
love to.
Go ahead and give me some attack rolls. Give me.
I don't know how long we're running. I'll just tell me how many.
It'll be a
shots I
couple
get.
hours. Give me 10 shots over the course of this time, as you'll get some shot. I mean, this is not you're a ways away from the ship.
Okay, the lowest is a 12. I'm assuming that misses. I'm doing 5 now.
Armor class on this is a 17. So just give me as many as hit that. Just give me a total of damage in a minute.
Hang on, I have 4 hits. I'm trying to do math. This is hard.
Okay. As you are running, anyone who cares to look back will see that there are additional smaller ones of these now moving out of the entrance of the cave, a little bit farther behind this main one. You run for a while. If I could get athletics checks from everyone to see how long you can keep this up before, well, you might take a point of exhaustion from a dead sprint for a long time. I will remind you that you do have advantages and or crits. I think, let's see, everyone has 1 of something, if you want to use those.
What I would like to do is, before we find out the results of these, I would like to use my auto crit and say that I'm also helping Zeke. I probably grabbed him and just bodily carrying him unless he objects.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Though he did quite well.
Okay.
I will also like to use my auto crit.
Okay, we can do that.
And I would also like to tell you that as I'm running and shooting, I do 247 damage.
Okay, duly noted.
I love Sedilla so much. so much. Oh my god.
I am going to use my advantage instead of my crit.
Alrighty.
Well, it's a good thing I did. So, total would be an 18.
Okay. Alright, did anyone get below a 15 on this? Okay. That was the DC I was going to give in order to just be able to full-on sprint for a couple of hours. You know, I'll say that after the first hour or so, you have a little more leeway, but you are moving very quickly for an extended period of time. No one is going to take a point of exhaustion. You get back to the ship. You see, now a little ways behind you, this gigantic creature has, as it's been moving, seems to have devoured the forms of these trees that it has moved through in this forest, and now appears like this dark wooden tree. In a lot of ways, it looks a little bit like you would expect like a tree ant or an ant or something shifting through the forest. As you get onto the ship, there is a panic. The science team has no idea what to do. They're just kind of like sitting around, wringing their hands, speaking nervously. And the moment you are on the ship, the little walkway folds up and the ship takes off. And you are able to get into the air before any creatures are able to get close enough to grab onto the ship. As I presume you're going to go to your respective stations when in flight. Anyone who would have access to scanners and vision around the ship would see shortly after you get into the air the ship that Muscles came from also gets into the air. The Cassiopeia is in the air. But 647 in particular, I know that you would be getting into the bridge as the kind of security officer. As you get up there, you would see front and center on this large screen what appears to be live footage of multiple of these large form devourers consuming the elven ship, the Hellion, just crawling all over it. As you see what is effectively live footage of this small settlement that they have created being just wiped out and repurposed into the forms of these creatures.
Waste not, want not.
As you get up there to the bridge, Captain Stone says, "Well, I'm glad you made it. We are going to get back to the Acuity right now. As soon as we are out of atmosphere, I'm going to advise that Admiral Cody open fire."
I think that would be well advised, sir.
I wonder if the Cassiopeia will. Obviously, the Elven ship isn't.
There are a tense couple of moments as there's chatter on the lines as the, gunners on your ship are trying to just track where targets are. Alexander Powell, the pilot, is trying to get y'all into space as fast as possible. This is an intense sequence of events. You watch this footage as these creatures that are swarming around the Hellion. Well, you watch as they seem to almost absorb the ship as they all combine and conjoin into one massive creature. The ship consumed within it. And there are a tense couple of moments as it looks like nothing is going to happen.
Oh no.
And then you see as this gigantic form devourer now begins to lift up off of the surface of the planet. And it appears to take the shape of the Hellion, but now larger and appearing to be made out of this crystalline metallic material, this weird alloy that does not look familiar and is almost greenish in tint. As this happens...
Is now a good moment for the pulse cannons?
As this happens, yes. Commander Stone gives the command to begin firing. You see that the Cassiopeia also begins firing. And you launch shot after shot after shot at this ship. And you see, as you expected, from experience in combat with it on the surface, that damage that is taken begins to be healed as well. Yeah, what's up,
Can
Sidella?
we call the captain real quick, or Admiral Cody, and point out to him that if he has any scorchers, the creature doesn't like fire damage, and if he could please share this knowledge with the people on the other ship as well.
Yes. You give that information to the captain. He will pass that along to the admiral, who is willing to convey that along to the other ship in orbit as well. There's some tense moments before you see opening up, not just from the Acuity, but also from this other ship, this massive, considerably, like, just terrifying ray of destruction open up. Not just out of the one ship, but out of both ships. Sidilla, this piques your interest. This is something that you have heard about, something that you're familiar with, but never seen in person. There is not...
Is it a death ray?
One. There are two orbital death rays.
Orbital cannons?
Firing at this ship creature thing in the air.
Is the Acuity hiring?
You'll have to ask. Long story short, the death ray does 20 d10 radiant damage every round. It's an obscene amount of damage.
Sidilla is somewhere near one of the viewports, and she has pretty much every piece of her oozy body splattered across the window to get the absolute best view of these amazing things.
You are watching before you as this ship is being torn apart, but simultaneously reconstructing itself. It is this incredible meeting of an unstoppable force and an immovable object. But slowly, little by little, there are tense moments as there are now 4 ships firing weapons at this thing as it slowly begins to it begins to become a little less stable. And at this point, you would notice, and I've just got to check one thing. Gotta see what this thing has. No, that doesn't have it. Huh. You see as your ships fire everything repeatedly, over and over, for a sequence of minutes, but none of the ships that you have seem to be armed with Scorchers. And so you watch, even as the form of this creature takes damage and seems to be defeated, it then will, after falling from the effects of gravity for a round, reform and reconstitute in a different shape, but still blasting into the atmosphere, seeming to chase you. And then it'll take more damage and fall again. It's this just repeating cycle. And you can hold it at bay. But there does not seem to be a way to stop it from making any additional progress right now. Is there anything you would like to do in this moment? We kind of find ourselves in a standstill. Admiral Cody, has issued a command stating that they're going to maintain a holding pattern, but the orbital cannons can only go so long before they are going to overheat.
Josh.
Yeah.
Where's the sun in this system that we're in?
The sun. You are currently, I think, headed sunward towards the sun. It is maybe a couple... that's tough. I would say that it is... This planet is not the closest to the sun in this area. It's probably not a full light year, but maybe in the realm of about half of a light year.
Right. So I'm gonna run up to the bridge. I'm manning some of the cannons, so I would expect that I wouldn't be too far.
Yeah.
So I'll run up to the bridge. Our ship, the Seeker's Luck, is docked on the Acuity, right?
You are making your way to the place where you can dock on the Acuity. I would say that you will dock in the next minute or two.
Okay, I'm gonna run up to the bridge of the Seeker's Luck.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shoulder check the commander, General Gravel, and just take over the communications array and say, "Yo, Cassiopeia, other ships, whatever your names are, come in."
Okay, so you're kind of just hailing on all frequencies. Okay.
Yep.
You get some acknowledgments that people are listening.
Listen, we need to keep firing it and draw it towards the sun. If we can get it there, it's weak to fire. If we can trap it and get it inside the, sun's gravitational pull, we can kill it.
There are a couple of tense moments. You hear Admiral Cody reply. That is a very dangerous maneuver.
It's between that and loosing this thing on the fucking universe. That's not a chance I'm willing to take. Come on, you know what we have to do, Coco.
Are there any other ways to defeat this that you have experienced?
It's weak to fire, or heat, unless we can, trap it inside the output of one of our dark matter engines. I don't see how, and that's even more dangerous than trapping it in the sun's gravitational pull, I think. Clearly, none of us have Scorchers, or we would have used them by now. Unless Sedilla can whip up something real big, real quick.
I was going to ask what it would take for me to rig our engines in such a way that we can do fire damage, either with a cannon I'm adjusting, to use a polite term.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think I can mount empathy on the outside of the ship. Although I do have remote control gloves.
You could not probably mount empathy, but you would likely have a suit or something in order to stand safely in space, tethered to the exterior of the ship.
Sadly, empathy is a very short-range weapon.
Duly noted.
I do have Tesla mines. If I can throw those out of the ship and it sort of swarms into them.
What type? Yeah, do Tesla mines do fire damage?
They do lightning, but I would like to tinker with them and add my Omni grenades to them so it does fire. It does the lightning as well, but it's about to fire.
I would say that given a few minutes of tinkering, you could give me a quick intelligence check, and let's say if you beat a 15, you could successfully create something that you think would accomplish that.
Can I interest you in letting me do a technology check instead?
I think that would be agreeable.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
You're pretty good with technology.
Assist with that, since I have a technology background.
Absolutely.
So you're helping me, which means I get advantage. That will be a 26.
A 26.
Indeed.
You feel like this ought to do. How many of these proximity mines or Tesla mines do you have?
I have 3.
Okay.
So it also means I have to reclaim the gift I gave Tori. I'm very sorry. I know you love your Omni Grenade, but right now it needs to go out the door.
Just take it. It's fine. Everything's
It's going
fine.
out
Just
the
go.
door.
Hopefully this
And
works.
we saw when we were fighting it that it's like, if it takes fire damage, it doesn't quite restore. So I would like to go mine, wait 10 seconds, mine, wait 10 seconds, mine. So it doesn't all go in one round, but so it doesn't heal the damage the orbital cannons are doing.
Okay.
Sedilla.
Yeah.
Is there a way to...
Hang on, I'm super gluing something to something else.
Is there a way to convert your nanobots so that they could, be fiery and consume this thing?
I can deconstruct it.
Because if they could just, gnaw at it, it might help too.
I'd probably have to talk to Josh about being allowed to do another technology check because they're technically necrotic damage.
If you had something that could either cause them to have fire on them or be on fire, I would say that that's doable.
I can use my... Hang on, I have so much stuff.
I have a planar
I
focus
could-
in fire, but that's a bit...
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna... He's never gonna use it, apparently. So I'm gonna take the present back from Zeke. I'm gonna give it to my nanobots.
Okay.
Also, I would offer to true name your nanobots, which would give them the...
Do you true name all of them at once or one at a time? Because I have a lot of them.
Are they a creature, a swarm? How does this work?
They are a mass.
I would say that that would be an object since they are bots and not, sentient.
No. Okay, so we'll also add the nanites with a hacked together ex-present of Zeke, who's very unappreciative, and I'm sure whatever is flying after us is going to love this much more.
Okay.
So we'll send that little prison as well, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have so many sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nano points left. So that'll be, once they get there, 7d6 fire damage as well.
Okay. All right.
I just needed to stop healing while the orbital cannons chip away.
Yeah. So, a couple moments take place as you work on this and then get to, a
arms full of hacked together
Yes.
technology.
I'm sure you could find someone to assist you with
Six
getting
is
these
helping
out.
me, and Tori is helping me,
Yeah.
and I have lots of help.
You will get to there's a valve on the exterior of the ship, a airlock where you can throw these out so that they can get into space and into the path of where the ship is going to pass. And I would say that you're able to coordinate with Powell in order to kind of get in the ship's path. It is not progressing very quickly right now because of where the orbital death cannons are kind of keeping it in this cycle of dying and regenerating. But so that means that you could actually get pretty reasonably close to where it is. Obviously, you'll want to be careful to avoid, getting into the line of fire. But yes, you could do that pretty easily.
Honestly, getting exploded would be a perfectly fitting death for Sedilla.
That's fair. I think the rest of the crew might disagree that going out in an explosion is the way they want to end the day.
I mean, if you gotta go, you might as well go out big.
That's fair. What I'm going to have you do is I would like for you to give me... I'm going to say that hitting the ship, which is a rather large target, is going to be a ranged attack roll at advantage because you have the help of the ship's maneuvering. But I will let you or whomever is throwing this out the airlock be the one to make that roll.
I have a +6. I don't know how much better Tori is than I am.
What's this?
Ranged attacks.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I have a +7.
Oh, I have... Let me see.
Because I'm pretty sure Zeke doesn't want to touch anything I've made. And 6 after he's done helping me is shooting from the ship itself.
I have a +8. I believe.
Do you know how these work? Can you hang on if I have an airlock? Let's do half. Can we help each other? We already have advantage. Let's each do half.
Okay. Sure. So, if I'm not mistaken, you're throwing 3 of these mines.
Yeah, but I have to do the nanobots because they're pretty much coming like out of me.
All right. So
as with everything,
let's go ahead and you would be able to control the trajectory of the nanobots, would you not?
Up to a certain point. At some point, they sort of lose contact with me because they're too far away. So I'd rather not be close enough where I can still control them.
Right. But you can give them.
But
a
I can
command
set them
that
in
they
the
can
right
still
direction.
Follow. Okay. So, Tori, why don't you give me 3 ranged attack rolls? And Sedilla, how many of these nanobots are you throwing?
I'm throwing everything I have left, which is a full swarm. Actually, that's not true. It's 2 separate swarms that they're both going to do.
All right.
A lot of fire damage.
I'll let you make just 1 roll for each swarm. So you can give me 2.
While this is happening, I think Doc would have been reviewing like the combat data that he's gathered through their encounter. Would he be under the assumption that aside from the ability to fly, that these form devourers would have assimilated other aspects of the ship, like weapons or sensors or anything like that?
It is entirely within the realm of possibility. They seem to take on whatever attributes are possessed by the things that they take over. You imagine, because it took a few moments for it to learn how to fly. There were some moments where it was there and the form was just sitting there before eventually it figured out, oh, hey, I think I can get off the ground. There may be a learning curve involved. Kind of how, like, if you were to learn a new skill or ability, it takes a little while. So you think if you could get this taken care of soon, it might not even be able to open fire on you. But it's reasonable to guess, based on what you've already seen, that there could potentially be fire coming back at you at some point.
Okay. In that case, on the off chance that it has developed sensors of some kind, or is starting to form weapons to return fire, Doc is actually going to accompany Sedilla and Tori to the airlock, where they're tossing out the mines and the nanobots, and he's going to get ready to cast a spell.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Tori, what are those attack rolls? You are muted.
1 nat 20, an 11, sadly.
And that was at advantage, an 11?
Oh, right.
They're all at advantage, yeah, so.
Okay, well, I'll just keep the nat 20.
That makes sense. It's hard to do better than that.
All right, so that's a 21 and a 24.
Okay. All right. Those are all going to be successful. Sedilla?
1 nat 20 and 1 24.
All right.
The Boom Twins strike again.
Boom Twins.
You are
Boom Twins.
pretty confident that all of these are going to hit their mark. You toss them out the airlock, and then I'm going to presume that you're going to shut the airlock and then watch on like a screen or something, as opposed to just like staring out into the atmosphere as you can't breathe and watch to see what happens? I mean, maybe you can watch.
I mean,
whatever
I'll
you
just
want
use
to
my I kind of want to use my rebreather and watch out of the airlock.
Okay.
I don't.
You don't
Tell
have
that
a
right now.
rebreather. That seems like a very smart thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bounce.
I'll set my Omni tool to rebreather, which allows me to breathe in environments without oxygen, and I just want to watch it happen. I want to watch the big explosion.
Do you start the
feel
song on
pressure
your cannon?
wave.
You start the song on your cannon only just so you can hear it in the background?
It is. The 1812 overture is going.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Great.
Little head just sticking out going,
Yeah.
I want to feel the pressure wave.
So, as you watch, there are a couple moments, you see that everything that you've just tossed out the airlock is on the right trajectory. You wait a moment.
I think while this is happening, after they've tossed the stuff out the airlock, Doc's optics will flash white, and then a series of arcane glyphs will start appearing around the Seeker's Luck. And each one, I think, would be about the size of, like, a bus.
Okay.
As he casts Meteoroid Shower.
Mm.
And so you watch as these, like, almost like a Gate of Babylon type move. These large space rocks come hurtling out of the glyphs and head towards the Form Devourer ship.
Okay.
To kind of like get in front of the mines in case, like, you know, it's got impact alarms or collision alarms. And so this way these things will, you know, get in front of them and take out any defenses that this thing might be forming, so that these mines and nanobots can do as much damage as they can.
That is a big brain move right there. Give me some damage on that, please and thank you.
All right, so it's going to take 8d6 mega bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
Technically speaking, mega creatures and the pilots of any ships in a 1,000-foot radius centered on that point must make a dex saving throw. So it can make a dex save.
Okay, it will make a dex save.
Okay.
Not great. If we're being perfectly honest. What's the DC on that?
My DC is 15.
Okay. It's going to save. It's got a pretty good dex modifier. But it'll still take half damage, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And mega damage is kind of a big deal.
Yep. So that's going to be 39 points of mega damage.
Right.
Halved, which would be about 19-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Which is equivalent to 3,900 hit points of damage. Normally, because that's how mega hit points work. Just to give some context here, that's a lot of damage. And what type of damage is that?
Bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning. You watch as the shield system on this ship, thing, creature, form devourer in space, there is this glow of these kind of greenish hexes that surround the ship as the shield takes the impact and then collapses. And you see that it dissipates, and you watch on a screen or with your eyes, Cedilla, as the mines and these nanobots weave through that opening. Give me the fire damage from those. I will say that just whatever damage roll you would do, add an additional 2 damage die that are fire damage on top of whatever lightning damage for the mines, and then obviously.
Sadilla, definitely roll for me too, or mine, because I don't know the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. I need to either roll a few times or I'll just roll a few times and grab my calculator again. I don't have enough d8s for this. Well, I do, but they're downstairs. Someone can help me remember 35?
35, okay.
Plus 32.
Okay.
Plus, I'm sorry, last one, I swear.
It's all good.
Uh, 40 even.
Okay. That equals 107 total. And that's lightning and fire damage combined, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
But the majority of it is fire damage. There's only
Excellent.
48 fire damage,
Okay.
lightning damage. The rest
Okay.
is fire.
Cool. Okay. As this happens, that is enough to overcome the, in this size and shape, I'll just tell you, as the ship form of this creature, it would have healed 50 points, normal hit points every round. That is enough to render it inert. Combined with death rays, combined with these meteorites, you are able to ignite this form devourer, and it starts as a little spark as you see flames burst on the surface, and then you see the flames begin to spread. There is definitely this impact, this burst of force that reaches out from the Form Devourer ship as you see it rendered back into this inert mass of flesh. Effectively. It's kind of nasty. And you see this flesh projectile return to the surface of the planet. It is on fire, and as it passes through the atmosphere, it burns up even more. Till eventually there is an impact on the surface of the planet. You think, at the very least, destroying the Form Devourer that had learned the ability to turn into a ship is probably enough to keep them planetside for the time being. But this definitely calls for bigger guns to come and solve the greater problem that these things can take in any kind of biological matter and convert it to their purposes. So, you have defeated the Form Devourer ship. It is dead. You have a moment where there's just this deep sigh of relief. Admiral Cody comes on the line. Well, that was very well done. I am not positive that we could have handled this without your quick thinking.
I will be sure to inform AI that you have performed admirably, keeping not just the science team safe, but also the rest of the world, and the galaxy, and the universe, and everyone. Thank you. And he cuts off.
No, thank you, Coco.
In the following hours, you redock with the Acuity. The Cassiopeia leaves. Gets the hell out of Dodge. But the other ship is going to stay put. You hear and are able to find out that the name of that ship is called the Red Dragon, with some known associations, actually, Zeke, with an organization that you're familiar with. You have some time now. The Acuity is going to head back to reunite, return to the headquarters for dagnabbit, I've forgotten the name of the organization again.
AI?
Yes, AI. With I wrote it down.
Astrogations Inc.
Astrogations Inc. That's what it is. Never trust me to remember names of things. Thanks, Sedilla. You have about a week's journey back to Astrogations Inc., the headquarters there, where you will be paid and compensated for your time. A transmission is sent ahead, and you hear very quickly that there is an organized task force of hired muscle being brought in with specifically fire weaponry to return to A27-3 and deal with the threat to see if perhaps the planet is salvageable.
Can some of us volunteer for that mission?
You could certainly volunteer at that time. That is probably...
I'd also like to give them like an invoice for all the materials I've wasted on that thing. I want to be recompensed? I don't know what the English word is. I want money for every one of those mines.
You can invoice them.
I will invoice them.
I think that you could all volunteer. If you so chose. The Seeker's Luck could be involved in that mission. But that sounds like a future mission. For the time being, we've got a little while left in our session. Let's have a moment to wrap up. There may be some conversations or things that we'd like to have on this week-long trip back before receiving your payment and returning to the front lines of this new combat. What would you like to do?
Doc would like to do a little bit of research. So one, he would probably look into which task force is being sent over to this planet we were just at. Like, are they a particular organization? Would I know this organization? Anything like that. And I would also probably look into, like, see if I can, like, find anything from, like, Elven news chatter about, like, you know, maybe if someone is reporting on the disappearance of the ship that they sent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You don't know a whole lot about this organization. I would say that the best resource that you would have for that would be a conversation with Zeke, actually. Because not a lot is known about them. It's very secretive. Aside from the fact that I think you're aware that Zeke's interest is piqued, that's it. but they have some loose affiliations with the tower. There is some chatter on Elven communication frequencies discussing the failure of the Hellions' mission and expressing concerns as to the loss of personnel and resources, but it does not sound like they are going to attempt to make any recovery mission, since information has been made available to pretty much the entire verse that there's nothing to recover. Have I missed anything? Was there something else that you wanted?
No, I think that'll be it.
Okay. Anyone else? What are we up to? You've got a week's time here.
Well, a lot of people are taking this very seriously, but when she's done tinkering with the engine, seeing what she can scrape back together now that she lost a lot of gadgets, and just in general try and make some improvements to the void crystals of the dark matter engine, which is in no way, shape, or form incredibly dangerous. She just wants to see if she can.
Okay.
Sedilla has one final little thing she needs to do. So once it's about midway through the week, nighttime-ish, she's gonna slurp her way to Tori's room.
Okay.
And there's gonna be a little, or whatever the digital equivalent of that is.
I'm sleeping, what's up? She comes to the door.
I need your help.
What do you need my help with?
When we were on the planet, there was talk of a type of explosion I'd never heard of before, and apparently you're the one who can help me explore these things. And I will use the skin sample I have from mussels and use my double-blooded feet to look exactly like her. Apparently, you and this form can interact in such a way that gives explosions. I need to know more. We have roughly 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
Tori closes the door. And then reopens it. Well, is it right to do this if, like, the person is another person, to steal their body and DNA and...
Technically, it's my body still.
Oh.
And I don't think I possess DNA.
Whatever, I'm a bad person. Come in here. And grabs you and pulls you in and shuts the door.
I think we'll leave it at the fade to black, but Sedilla will be taking copious notes.
I think it is fair to say that you learn a little bit about a new type of explosion.
Other than that, I'm just invoicing.
Oh my god.
6, is there anything you would like to do during this week?
I think that I would be working with Zeke to make sure that our organization gets a full reporting of the events, and presumably Zeke and I would be volunteering to go and try to help contain the mess that is this planet now.
Of course. All right. Zeke, what are you up to during this time?
Oh, I'm mostly absent.
Okay.
I would be trying to board the Red Dragon, if that's possible, as all.
Okay. Upon your return to A27-3?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Upon your return to A27-3, the Acuity, and you with it, is returning to Astrogations Inc.'s headquarters to get payment, and then would presumably return to be a part of the Frontier events fighting the Form Devourers at that point. You could certainly communicate with them before then.
Yeah, I think Swapper's having some internet issues, so he's
Okay.
only hearing bits and pieces.
Okay, fair enough. I will go ahead and send a quick message to Swapper so that he knows what's going on. In the meantime, Tori, is there anything else that you would like to do during this week?
So after that incident with Sedilla, which was, I guess, enlightening for Sedilla, oh my god. I would like to, once we get back to Astrogations, I would like to look up more information about the Cassiopeia, because now I have intimate knowledge about a very similar body to Muscles, and I'm like, you know what? Worth it. Worth it. Totally worth it. I'd probably have to tell them, but you know.
Sure, you know, that's fair.
Yeah.
If
I don't know how I would feel about that, but I think I'd want to know.
I think that with some education, you know, about certain physiological structures, you might go, huh? Might be worth having a second conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Okay, duly noted. Okay, and I have sent Zeke the message, so they'll know what's going on. As we are kind of wrapping up here, who would volunteer for this return mission to help rid the verse of this dangerous, seemingly strange life form?
Do we get paid enough to retrofit the Seeker's Luck with Scorchers because they're 1,500 gold?
I think
seems like a good investment.
I think in addition to you know, the Seeker's Luck making its normal pay that it was offered, there would be some additional compensation, for you and, you know, sunk costs. There would be some additional payment in terms of going above and beyond the call of duty. And I think you would be... I think if someone asked, you would probably be able to get some Scorchers without
I think
too
I'd
much
first ask if we can get a Death Ray and an Orbital Cannon, and then I'll be like persuaded down to Scorchers eventually.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have the Orbital Cannon
That's fair.
or the Death Ray, or a combination thereof.
Yeah.
Sedilla's easy that way.
The orbital cannon is very large, and you might not have a place to mount it on the Seeker's Luck. You might need a bigger ship. That might be a long-term project to upgrade the Seeker's Luck to a slightly larger class of ship. Consider it.
How big is a Death Ray?
It's gonna be pretty comparable. You might be able to make a down payment on that. You know, put it on layaway type of deal.
Can I just get the blueprints?
You know what? I think Sedilla could probably get a hold of some blueprints.
Perfect. I'll take the blueprints and some Scorchers.
It'll take a little time, but I think you could probably build it.
It's gonna be better than ever.
All right. For those of you who participate on this return mission to save the verse from the Form Devourers, I will say, broadly speaking, that it is a success. What exactly happens there, I won't tell you, because maybe one day we'll get to see that. Or maybe we can just imagine the heroics in our minds. But I would like to do a quick epilogue. what are each of your characters' goals in the next 6 months to a year? What would you do after this mission? What's next?
Sedilla has blueprints and a technological specialty in nanoengineering. So she's trying to marry the two and make a small but still powerful death ray / orbital cannon.
Okay.
Trying to like go from when you had floppy disks and now you have microchips. She's trying to make that step, but with things that go boom. Small yet powerful explosives. Lots of tinkering. And just in general, collecting skin samples from living creatures because it never hurts to have the option to look like someone you're not.
I think that's very handy, actually, to have a series of disguises. Okay.
Doc, I don't think that I'm making anything up for both of us when I say that we'll probably continue trying to take down that thing that we're going after.
Yes, I think that would make sense.
So, we are still trying to take down Daedalus Industries, which is a corrupt biotech firm that's doing horrific illegal experimentation.
Yeah.
I also want to hook up with Muscles, a real version.
Absolutely.
And probably Sedilla a few more times because, you know, Tori's weak.
Sedilla's willing.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Probably as Sedilla gets more forms, there's a lot more experimentation. Oh, this is so bad.
That is the fun thing about having someone who can shapeshift a little bit. Okay.
You're muted.
Probably researching how to make it last longer than 10 minutes, though.
I mean, that's just the actual perfect disguise. If you just want more arms of whatever, that can be arranged at any point in time.
Fun?
Suffice to say, there's plenty of experimentation. 6.
I think that he would mainly be just accompanying Zeke with whatever his next steps are.
Okay.
Still trying to seek out how he can protect more people and make himself useful.
Yeah. Absolutely. Doc, is there anything you'd like to add to what Tori has already told us?
I think he'll probably just be by Tori's side when she needs him. For whether it's for healing or for console. Same with the ship's crew.
I think we stay with the Seeker's Luck even in that 6 months, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Seeker's Luck is willing to help. Okay, and Swapper has messaged me his epilogue because right now the internet is a little choppy and we're having some voice breakup. Zeke will return to the GCO, the organization that he is a part of. But it kind of troubles his conscience for a little bit. 6, you are, of course, helping with this. Zeke would get a promotion, absolutely, for involvement with this. In fact, I think 6, you might even get a promotion as well. But eventually, Zeke splits off, goes his own direction, choosing to instead work on these kind of covert tech exploration and recovery missions without the oversight of an organization that may or may not be a little morally ambiguous. because I think it is fair to say that Zeke is at his core a good person, and would not want to be with an organization that has some sketchiness for any longer than necessary. I think it's fair to say that also Zeke and Six, you would stick around with the Seeker's Luck for a while, as they are willing to keep doing jobs and let people pursue their own personal endeavors as needed. It's a good gig. And you've got this in with Astrogations Inc. They're happy to work with you because you have proven yourselves to be quite loyal and trustworthy. So I think we will close our campaign with this. You're able to accomplish these things, whether that is finding personal success, whether that is building relationships with new and incredible people, whether that is righting past wrongs, whether that is creating something new and wonderful to make the verse a better place. Each of your paths, while for a time being moving together, is advancing. And the crew of the Seeker's Luck becomes reasonably well known. Maybe not famous, but respected for saving the verse from a terrible threat here at 827-3. Well done. You've done it. You've saved the day. Hey everybody. My name is Josh. It has been my honor to DM this wonderful group for a couple of fun-filled sessions where you get to see just some sheer chaos. It's my favorite brand. This has been a delight. Thank you for putting up with me and my love for strange parasitical creatures. And also for letting me playtest this creature that I wrote specifically for y'all. Maybe one day you'll get to see the stat block. I'll share it with y'all offline. You can find me on the internet on Twitter, Instagram at Joshua M. Simons. You can find me here at Twitch, where my username is Joshua Simons, because someone stole my M. My favorite part of today's session, I'm gonna give two, because I can. I have that permission. I loved the absolutely bold and foolish strategy of rushing in and trying to get up close and personal with something that you have been told by research. If it touches you, there's a solid chance that it could take over your body, reconstruct it, and take it over as part of its form. That was bold. It paid off. Some rolls did not go well, but y'all did real good. And the second one, something that we had talked about as a cast, making sure that consent was in place, making sure that it was not any issue. I did enjoy seeing Sudilla shapeshift for a little experimentation. I think that is a ship that we're all willing to board. I'm gonna toss it to someone else. Tori.
Hi, you can find me. Well, I'm gonna drop the accent now. Hi, I am Persephone. You can find me on all things social media related at Persephorath. I also run a podcast, a D&D podcast called Fast Times at D&D High, which is currently number 11 for gaming podcasts in the United States, and I am so excited. My favorite part of the session, I mean, I don't want to give like partially myself an award because the seduction with Sedilla and Tori, because that was so much fun. So I think instead I'm going to give it to 647 for all the things that happened in combat. Just the description, the boldness, everything was amazing, and I adored it. I'm gonna throw it to Zeke. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot that Zeke is having internet issues.
We can see. I mean, we can see if Swapper's internet will give us 30 seconds of time. It looks like the video isn't doing too much. So, do you want to try, Swapper, and just see if he hasn't heard me? Maybe that means it's not cooperating.
He previously complained he can barely hear
You're
us.
saying something, but I cannot hear you. No words. That's it.
I can hear you.
Hold on, I'll make sure this is communicated.
Okay.
So, 1 second.
Okay.
At Swapper.
Let's have. You were gonna throw it to Sedilla instead.
I was gonna throw it to Doc.
Okay, throw it to Doc, and we'll have Zeke go right after Doc.
All right. Well, hey guys. I'm Rakolai or Rakolai, Rakolai. There's a few ways you can say it. I am a moderator over at Josh's Twitch channel, and this was my first stream game on the Open for Adventure channel. So, thank y'all for tuning in and joining us. I think my favorite part was the evolving boss fight that Josh threw together for us. The multiple stages, the growing sizes, the uncertainty of what's going to come next. That's all stuff that I really dig. And I really also want to just thank Josh for, inviting me to this group and for to introducing me to the Dark Matter book. This is something that I probably interested in running in the future for some other people. And and I also want to thank all of my fellow players for having me with you. It was a lot of fun. And now I think I will throw it over.
We are gonna see if Swapper's internet is gonna hold up for long enough, because we can hear him, he just can't hear us.
All right.
Hello. I will just go. I'm just going to scream into the void now. My favourite moment. Oh wait, plug myself first. I think. I'm Swapper. You can find me on Twitter under @GreatSimplicity while I make items. Shit, I haven't done that today. Anyway, my favourite moment, even though I only got snippets from it, which compliments to Josh. You have some good descriptions going on. I could piece together what happens, even though I heard only every fifth word or something. Was the fucking ship fight where the people just kept firing, and then there was a... It's amazing. I think there was a solution which involved mines and nanobots and fire. Amazing. The entire description of the meteorites. Where the fuck did the meteorites come from? Anyway, meteorites smashing through the hexagon shields. That was so vividly described. I could see it in front of my inner eye in a very laggy video. But it was there, and it was very impressive and very cool.
Excellent. Thank you. Let's go ahead and toss it now. We've got Sedilla and 647 left. There we go.
All right. My name is Anik. You can find me on Twitter @Anikster. I stream on other people's channels because technology scares me, because I'm in IT and I know what it can do to you. I also paint stuff for people. I think my Twitter says commissions open, but I just got a whole bunch, so they're gonna be closed again. But at some later date, they'll be open again. My favorite moment. Oh, there were so many of them. I really loved Doc's description when he warned Sedilla to prepare for combat augmentation. I had no idea you could give people more arms, and I loved it. And just in general, again, for Josh, the descriptions. But another one for Doc thinking of, shit, maybe the thing has shields before the mines hit it, and using a giant meteor storm to deal with the shields. Beautiful big brain moment. And my mines and my nanobots were very grateful as well. Also, I love that Tori and Sedilla are canon, even though their relationship is unorthodox.
Unorthodox is the best kind of...
I know, right? We have so many options.
So great. So great.
So many options. Anyway, Andrew.
I'm Andrew, aka Fellowship of the Tables, aka Bay of Gifts. You can find me bopping around the Discord. On Twitter, I'm Fellowship OTT because character limits. Yeah, I think my favorite part of the session was, it's been said, but just the epic image of like two ships, or several ships holding one ship back in sort of a stalemate, and then this wave of meteors and nanobots and fire and explosions coming along and just beating that ship down and taking it out. That was just so epic. It was great.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun. Before we go, I would like to thank all of our warm fuzzies whose support lets us do things like this. It's one of our Patreon tiers. If you like cool content, the little ad reel tells you all about it, but we have some awesome stuff. Our warm fuzzies are Bel Chavez, Christina, Sev, Quincy, Patrick, and the one and only Andrew. Fellowship at the Tables, our very own Bay of Gifts. Thank you all for being here and for your support. This has been fun. If you liked this, go ahead and check out the Dark Matter supplement. The Kickstarter is going for another week and change, and we are so incredibly close to that 200,000 stretch goal, at which point we get Roll20 incorporation. It's so handy. You can check out the social medias for Open for Adventure on Twitch, and I don't think there's an Instagram. Check us out on Twitch. It's the channel is Open 4 Adventure. Come hang out in our Discord. It's a cool place. And yeah, thanks for being here. We're gonna head off and do our callouts, but I'm going to send us to go and raid one of the Jasper's Game Day channels right now. Right now, going on this whole weekend. There's Jasper's Game Day games, which is suicide prevention. So we're going to head over to Thread Raiders, where Jasper's games are going on right now. Tomorrow, I forgot to plug this, I will be playing in 2 Jasper's games. One at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on the Mini Domain Terrain Twitch, and then one at 7 Eastern Time on the Daddy Warbucks channel. So come hang out there. My 1 o'clock game will be run by our friend of the channel here, the Bad DM. It will be I believe a canon Faeforge Academy one-shot. So if you like that podcast, come hang out with us. And even if you don't like us or don't want to come hang out and support me, please consider supporting Jasper's Game Day. Suicide prevention is a good cause. With that, we are gonna call it. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. I will see y'all very soon. Goodbye.